What's up, Beta Gang? Welcome into DApp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. Hopefully, you guys are able to hear me nice and fine. We're going to be tuning into President Donald Trump's first ever crypto summit here. We're going to be making sure to highlight everything as it's happening in real time. Appreciate you all tuning in here. And so, as I get things ready on my end, just want to quickly tune in here. So, it looks like the event should be kicking off here any moment. Let me just double check. And hopefully you guys are able to hear that there as well. I'm just going to mute that momentarily. Oh, are we good? Let's see. Okay, looks like we're still waiting. All right. Well, we got folks tuning in here. Welcome in. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal is to help you find your footing here within the Cardano and Bitcoin ecosystems. Again, we're going to be tuning into the first ever press conference for the Trump Crypto Summit taking place here at the White House. Got Aladdin in the house. We've got Juiced tuning in here. Hopper Road, ready for the Trump dump. That's crazy, yeah? Let's see how the markets react. I think that's going to be probably one of the key things that everyone's watching. And let's actually jump into that right now. Taking a look at the charts here. Bitcoin currently at 87,000. I mean, it's been teeter-tottering. Nothing crazy just yet. Let me see if I can pull the charts up here as well. We've got Josh from Late Game Crypto. Josh, I appreciate you tuning in here. Seems unlikely to me that they'd set up the whole crypto summit to deliver bearish news. Yeah, I mean, you never know though, right? I've seen some content or some articles about the fact that there's supposed to be the mention of no tax on crypto for the US moving forward. Obviously, that's a pretty big piece of news to highlight there. But Charles mentioned this in his live stream yesterday as well, right? And that's the fact that a lot of this stuff is being done at the executive branch level, meaning, right, that we still have to go through the legislative branch. We still have to get things investigated before they can actually become law. So again, will this be hype? We'll see here in just a moment, but just want to take the opportunity to say thank you to everybody for tuning in here, including Josh from Late Game Crypto. Juiced, appreciate you, man. Bone Pool in the house. We've got Jonas here as well. The DApp analyst, I appreciate tuning in here. Again, this should get started here momentarily. These guys are never on time, so I'm not counting on them being on time here today. But as soon as they do tune in, we'll go ahead and make sure to get the sound up and going for you guys here. Rebel Science. Yeah, I mean, one day, right? One day. Right now, the orange man definitely has a say and a sway as to what happens in the markets. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm just the messenger here. Let's see. Are there any other topics maybe that we can dive into a little bit before this? Let me take a look here, see what else is going on. We've got over 900 of you guys here between X and YouTube. Again, if you guys appreciate the content, please share this out. We're going to be covering everything as it's happening here in real time. And then, of course, at the end of the stream, I'm happy to take questions and just sort of review exactly what has happened or transpired during that call. Now, I'm not sure that they're going to be actually streaming the entire roundtable session. I believe it's supposed to be roughly 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think that they're actually going to be streaming the entire event. I think we're just going to get an address by President Donald Trump at the very beginning. And then I think they're going to wrap it up. So I'm thinking roughly around 20 to 30 minutes. But again, we'll see here. Hopefully this is the actual start here. Not yet. Rebel, I appreciate it, man. I try to do my best here to keep everybody updated. It's almost like a full-time job, especially with how much news has been rolling out here as of late. There's just been a lot of bearish and even bullish news, bearish and bullish news here as of late. I thought that, we were going to be at new all-time highs here after the ADA announcement with the reserves. And of course, we saw ADA pump, 70% only to pull back around 30 or 40%-ish. PNC, welcome, and I appreciate you. Pi token to the moon. I know that recently just launched. A lot of people disappointed about the price of that. We got Taurasi, Trump rules. You got to be careful when you say that, man. Let me see if I can pull up the charts here. Eric, I appreciate tuning in here, just doing what I can. Excited to hear what the president has to say about the future of the crypto industry, man. For anybody who missed it, there was actually a pretty big piece of news that popped up earlier about the executive order for assigning Bitcoin as a part of the US based treasury. Let me see if I can actually pull that up here. So this was signed 19 hours ago. Let's dive into this here. All right, let me see if I can pull this up on the screen. Fart burp, it's been a minute, man. How you been, man? Let me share this instead. All right, so this is what was released earlier. This was about 18 hours ago. And so this is the fact sheet for President Donald Trump, who's now established or given the green light to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve and a US digital asset stockpile. And if I'm not mistaken, what they're kicking things off with is the Bitcoin assets or the Bitcoin tokens that they've seized through illegal operations, et cetera. But Donald Trump has now given his working group the ability to start investigating new options and new opportunities to also grow, right, or to accumulate or to continue accumulating even more Bitcoin. And so this was released on March 6th, where it states that today, Donald J. Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile, positioning the USA as a leader amongst nations in the government or in the digital asset strategy here. Let's see here. It mentions that this will be solely, at least initially, using Bitcoin. And then it talks about the digital asset stockpile here, which will consist of digital assets other than Bitcoin owned by the Department of Treasury, which have been forfeited in criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. So what assets does that include, right? I'm not sure that there's ever been any ADA that's been forfeited or seized for criminal activity. Same thing with Solana, XRP. These are the tokens that we saw Trump actually tweeting about a couple of days ago, right? But that's what it mentions here about the other assets outside of Bitcoin. So not a lot of clarity. Let me search this page here for Cardano. No mentions there of Cardano. Only 18 mentions of Bitcoin. So no mentions of Cardano. Let's check the page for XRP and Solana. Nope. So yeah, there's no mentions of actual altcoins here, which is not surprising. If they had made any mentions here, I think that that would have resulted in a huge price spike for some of these assets. But even Bitcoin, looking across the charts here, let's see. It is down 2% on the day. So, I mean, Bitcoin's still range bound. Just briefly looking at the charts here, we are at a key level. We've just bounced off of some support here at the $80,000 range. Taking a look at the Cardano charts here, we've reclaimed that 85-cent range. And it's so crazy how, nicely the charts respect these different levels or zones that I've highlighted here. And these have been on this chart for, I want to say, over a year and a half. I mean, zooming all the way back out here, you guys can see exactly where we are. We're right here at this 85-cent range here, where again, we're starting to see some support there. So we'll see. It does look like Cardano on the daily is in a much bullish posture than a lot of its other altcoins or comparative altcoins here. So looking here at ETH, we're below on the daily, both the 50 and the 200. As we can see, Cardano is above the 200 and the 50. Pepe below both, Floki below both. XRP is about to be above the 50, but not there just yet, above the 200. Doge below both averages, Render below both averages, AVAX below both averages, Solana below both averages. So again, we're going to see, I think as soon as Bitcoin finally picks back up, Cardano, because of its current positioning, stands to definitely be one of the first runners into new all-time highs. Jumping back into the stream, we're still waiting for the event to kick off here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Please share this out if you guys are able to. We're going to be tuning in and listening into Donald Trump as we get ready for the first ever crypto summit held at the White House. Let's see here. I'm just reading the executive order that came out earlier. I'll pull that back up here for anybody who wants to read that. And I'm just going to get a couple of things pulled up here. Give me just a moment. We got Doug Nasty in the house. Appreciate you tuning in. Marina Adele. Thank you. Clarence Knox. This should actually have started 15 minutes ago. But as we know, these things never start on time. And so as it stands, oh, look, we've just got some feed. All right, let's jump in, guys. There we go. I'm waiting on audio. Let's see what we got here. Not sure what's going on there with the video. I am going to reload this. Let's see what's going on. All right, looks like we got an ad. Hopefully you guys are able to hear me. Let me make sure I can actually get this ad roll. Issues with audio.
It'll be under our umbrella.
Thank you, Mike. Looks like they might have faked us out there. I'm not sure what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and mute that. I thought the event was actually starting. So again, sorry about that, you guys. While they're doing that, let's see if there's any other platforms that have actually started sharing anything else. Let me just make sure we're not lagging behind here. And I might actually tune us into some other platform. Give me just a second. Batman asking if I think this is going to influence the Cardano price. I mean, it depends. If they name drop Cardano specifically, right? I think it's going to have a big impact. Now, if they just maybe just say altcoins or they're just super vague about what particular assets they're interested in, I think that's what everything is really going to depend on is whether or not they start name dropping. And if they do, what are the name dropping about, right? If they're talking about the stockpile, the reserves, and if they're talking about how much they want to accumulate, then yeah, definitely that's going to help out here with price appreciation. Got Crypto Moose in the house, man. Appreciate you dropping in, Moose. Means a lot here. We got COSD asking about Cardano dropping below the 0.65 pound range. I was actually just showing the charts here. I'll pull it back up very briefly, sort of just giving you guys my thoughts. Obviously, not financial advice, but Cardano, right, was oscillating in this particular range here. These were the lows back at 25 cents. We then last year had the crypto pump where Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 69,000. And we saw Cardano go from 24 cents all the way up to 79 cents. Now, at that point, this is where we saw 80 cents here, that bit of resistance. And then we've seen Cardano sort of as trailing sideways for the last 12 months. As of late, we've blown straight past through that particular resistance. And we've now set new resistance at around $1.20 to $1.30. And we're now appearing to be retesting the previous resistance, right, from about a year ago. And we're now holding pretty steady above that 80-cent range. So right now, 80 cents looks pretty solid to me in terms of support. But of course, anything can happen in crypto. And we've now got a video feed. So let's tune in here and see exactly what's going on. Come on. Yeah, this is old content, it appears.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, this is old content because I'm looking at other platforms and they have not started streaming yet. I think we're going to tune in here and we'll just let it sit on this platform here instead. Hannibal. We got chicken in the house. Appreciate you dropping in, man. Lord asking if this is pre-recorded. It should be live. It's just that these folks take forever to start and they're always late. Yeah, fart burp. I don't think that this has actually started just yet. We got Dijon asking if I think that Charles met Trump on March 1st. I mean, I think it came down to two people. It's either Donald Trump or Elon Musk. Either way, he hasn't officially confirmed who. But in my opinion, it's either one of those two gentlemen. Didi, thank you very much. If you guys are enjoying the content, obviously we haven't actually dove into the meat of it today just yet. I'd appreciate if you guys could smash that thumbs up. Definitely means a lot. Got Damon from C3 from Charlie 3, excuse me, tuning in here. Appreciate it, Damon. We'll be catching up here very soon. And congrats on getting the Cardano Foundation to run C3 nodes. I believe they've just made the announcement not too long ago that they're going to be operating C3 nodes as well as OrcFax nodes, right? Oracle's a key piece here of the Cardano ecosystem, and to see you guys get the support that you guys finally, right, deserved, I think is awesome news there. So good to see you here. Appreciate you tuning in and showing in some support. Fareed, is almost possible. I mean, honestly, OSD, I would love to be in this particular space full time. The hope is that after this bull market that, you know, that will actually be a reality or a particular dream, but we'll see. We'll see. Right now, I still work a traditional job, but would love to be able to spend my time here in crypto. Now, given how volatile it is, you know, just want to make sure that I'm able to plan for the next bear market and not just leave and go full time during the bull, only to have to go back after the crash. Damon confirming the Cardano Foundation is in fact running nodes on the mainnet. Congrats on that, man. Esco, Snack Gang. Bone Pool. I'm still fiat mining, man. Nothing wrong with that. Let's take a look at the Cardano ecosystem. Let's jump into Tap Tools real quick. See how things look over there. There's been a lot of AI related meme coins that have been popping up here that have been doing actually pretty decent. So let's see here. We've got IUSD. Nothing crazy. Shards is up. Where's Talos at? A lot of tokens here. Let's see if we can find Talos. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, looks like it might have started. So let's see. It doesn't look like it started on my end. Let's jump back here. but I am going to keep an eye on multiple sources just in case one starts before the other. Okay, so I'm getting word that it started on Fox Business, but let's see here. I'm trying to tune in there now. Okay, let me pull this up here. All right, we're about to tune in now.
It just came out. There's a new website where any Louisiana resident.
This White House task force, chaired by the president himself, it shows the importance of the FIFA World Cups, I should say, because there are many, many topics to deal with, of course, and we want everyone who comes to America and who goes to watch one of these games. We have 10 million tickets for sale. It's like 3 Super Bowls every day for 1 month. That everyone that goes feels safe, feels happy, and feels that we are doing something special. So we're here to create and to make the best show on the planet ever, and we'll do it together, Mr. President.
Oh, that's great. I love what he said, like 3 Super Bowls a day for a month. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's really amazing when you think of it. I've never heard that expressed. That's a lot. When, when we made this, it was made during my term, my first term. And it was so sad because I said, can you imagine, I'm not going to be president. And that's too bad. And then what happened is they rigged the election and I became president. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. That was quite an achievement for both of us. So I'll be president during the World Cup and during the Olympics, which we were very instrumental in getting. And then, of course, we have our 250th birthday too. And of that, I wasn't instrumental. That just happened to fall on the same time. So we have those 3 big events. You don't get very much bigger than that: the Olympics, the World Cup, and number 250. And it's a great honor. But I appreciate your selecting us. And we were selected a long time ago, though, during my first term. And it's an honor to be with you, Johnny. Been my friend for a long time.
Absolutely.
He's a great
Thank you so
gentleman.
much.
Okay, I'll sign this, and that makes it official, right?
That makes it official, yes.
That's good.
Here we are. Then we have to start working.
All right, folks, while he's signing that, I apologize to interrupt, but I mean, this is the same exact stream that I'm also seeing on The Hill. This is Fox Business, so I'm not sure why we're here talking about
the
FIFA,
Super Bowl
but
has
this is
around
what's
100
streaming on
million
both platforms.
Viewers or 150 million viewers. The World Cup final has 2 billion viewers. So we have to make it 20 times better and 20 times bigger than the Super
I
Bowl.
think it'll be better. I think it will be better.
Any idea of the economic impact of this in all these cities around the country? It's got to be huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's around 40 billion in only the United States, $40 billion US dollars, the economic impact, 200,000 jobs created. It's so per city you can divide by 11, and you know a little bit what each city gets, more or less. Some cities get more, others get less. But we'll have 10 million tourists coming, some with tickets, others without tickets, who just want to be here during these World Cups.
What team is favored now, if there's such a thing? I mean, do they have a team like so many of these great famous teams? What team seems to be favored?
Well, on the club one, which takes place this year, of course, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, the Germans, Paris Saint-Germain, the French. The big ones are always there, and these clubs are multinationals. They have players from all countries.
They always seem to be there.
They are always there.
Those great
They are
teams.
always there. Yeah. And then next year, Argentina, Brazil,
Right.
England, Germany, Spain,
Gonna be
So
great.
it will be great.
Any questions for Johnny?
US is coming up. US is coming. Watch the US. Some very, very good players playing in Europe, but we need to bring them back here to
So
play here.
can the US win?
The US can win, yes, with the public behind.
See?
They playing now. They're
He
playing
knows
some of
what
the
to
top
say.
teams.
He knows.
Yeah. They playing some of
So
the top
there's a
teams.
shot, right?
Yeah, there is a shot. Absolutely,
That's
yes.
great. Well, we'll hold that up for you guys. Brian, did you have another question?
Well, I was just gonna say, this continues your pursuit to bring America back in every aspect, the economy, world peace,
Yeah.
sports now, which is awesome. I would have previewed a little bit of the Olympics, and then we talked about that before.
Well, I'm just very happy to have done it. I mean, you know, I didn't think this was gonna happen. I said, I'll be sitting there, but not.
I apologize for muting real quick, but just want to give everyone a heads up because I think some folks are confused. Looks like this is a rerun from yesterday. And so this is being streamed live, not just on Fox Business, but it's also being streamed on other platforms, including The Hill. And so I'm not sure why they're playing this. They obviously need a little bit of time to get things started, but I want to take the opportunity just to clear the air here. This is not the actual summit, but this is being broadcasted from wherever they're supposed to be streaming the summit from. And so this is what's going out to all the major news sources right now, including Fox Business. So we'll give them a couple more minutes. But yeah, this is definitely not what we expected. They are 30 minutes behind. Quick shout out to South Crown Customs. Appreciate you tuning in here. Means a lot. OSD, you're saying that this is live. I mean, if this is, I mean, we could tune back in here, but I'm just very surprised that they haven't mentioned crypto just yet. And they typically are very acutely aware of time.
I was there. You're just a troublemaker. And you're not supposed to be asking that question because we're talking about the World Cup. Elon gets along great with Marco, and they're both doing a fantastic job. There is no clash.
Why can't you stay organized? I've experienced this myself, and it's called chronic impulse control, where you prioritize short-term.
About the World Cup?
Can we unveil the trophy, maybe?
I'd love to do
Because this is something something special. So today
I love
is
this
100
chicken.
days to go for a new competition that we created
Right.
together. The FIFA Club World Cup, the best clubs in the world with the best players in the world. So we can.
You got Cash in the house. Appreciate you tuning in here, man. I do appreciate it. Yeah, this does not appear to be live. And so again, while everybody was pushing Fox Business, I think I'm going to jump back to The Hill. Let me get that pulled up here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but from a communication standpoint, this has not been great. So I'm trying to dig around to see if there's any more information that I can find. Yeah, Hopper Road, I agree with you. I don't think that it's actually started. For some reason, they're just running or rerunning some of this content here. Chicken, I do appreciate it. I realize that you guys could be anywhere watching the stream or watching this content, right? But the fact that you guys have showed up here means a lot. And for anybody who isn't aware of Chicken, he's a huge contributor to the MinSwap team, Cardano OG, and he's worked with a couple of other projects here in the ecosystem in order to help them with their liquidity, their token launches. Most recently, I want to say he's worked alongside the Cerberus team, a risk rating protocol here in the ecosystem. So yeah, Chicken, it means a lot. And congrats to you and the entire MinSwap team for getting rid of the batcher fees as of late. I think that was a huge, huge milestone. I remember seeing the initial post questioning the actual batcher fees, and then to see you guys release the article, explaining why, and then, raising the bar by removing the batching fees, I think has spoken a lot about you guys and the team and just sort of wanting to make the experience better here on Cardano and not always focusing on the protocol itself, but the user experience. So that really does mean a lot. Cash, I appreciate you too, man. Got to get you back on here for another stream. It's been a long time. I need you and Viva back on here, man. You guys did a really good job breaking down some of the macro news. Jacko, yes, folks, please hit that like if you can. Share this out. I really do appreciate it. We're waiting for the official Trump Crypto Summit to begin. Right now, looks like they're just wasting a little bit of time here. This is a good question that I will never answer here on stream. Big Shrimpin asking if I voted red or blue. That's the fastest way to get my channel canceled here, man. I got to keep those things to myself. Let's see here. Not. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that started, but I'm more than happy to go ahead and turn the sound on if you guys want to listen to this little bit here about the World Cup in FIFA. Cloud Marco, I love you too. Thank you, my friend. And Cash, yeah, let's get something rolling, man. I'll send you a DM here on Twitter. Have I tried using Sonic? I'm not sure what that is, Adrian. You'll have to explain that if you can there in the comments. Chicken, anytime, man. Fartburg doesn't want to listen in on FIFA. Veritas, there you go. You voted purple right in the middle. Let me see if I can get some other content pulled up here. I just don't want to start anything, and then as soon as I start, they're going to jump into the stream. I'm going to have to shift everything back. That's my only concern. I'm currently scouring X and Twitter to see if there's any updates coming in from some of the attendees there. If you guys who are watching do have... let's see. C-SPAN. Let me check C-SPAN and see what they got going on. So this is an article from earlier, and this is why we're just sort of waiting for things to get started here, because again, I'm not seeing anything across C-SPAN just yet. Give me just a second, folks. This is the beauty of live streaming. Can't plan for any of this stuff. I think one thing that we can listen into is Jerome Powell, who appears to be speaking at the Economic Outlook taking place in Chicago. Let's see what they're talking about over there.
To complete the Basel III endgame. And we think that's very important. We think that the Basel Accords really are important to set sort of minimum standards for international banking around the world. And we expect that we will. We're kind of on hold until the US banking agencies are really back up and running with new leadership. But once they are, we fully expect to get back to that work and complete the Basel III endgame. And I have a good reason to think that we'll be able to do that. It's good news. Another little bit of inside baseball, but there's been a lot of discussion in the last few weeks about changing some of the statistics that are emphasized about the economy. And the Commerce Department recently disbanded the Federal Economic Statistics Advisory Committee. And I know during COVID, you felt like there were many indicators of the economy that were kind of broken or not so helpful. So do we need to worry about whether the Fed's ability
to do its job might come into question because of deficiencies in the statistics? And are you already, let's do that. I'll ask a follow-up.
Yeah, so there's two different things. I think it needs to be said that the government data we get from government gathered data we get from the Bureau of Economic Analysis and the Bureau of Labor Statistics is incredibly important and really the gold standard for data. Being able to track what's going on in the economy is very, very important, and it's something that the United States has led in for a long, long time, and something we need to continue to lead in. It's true that survey responses have gone down, and that some of the data have become more volatile. That just means it's something we need to keep doing and invest in. So I think that's important. On the pandemic data, that's a different thing. You needed to measure things like how many people are going to restaurants, how many, you could look at open table data and things like that. So there were lots and lots of pieces of data we were getting about that showed people how many people are coming back to work, riding the subway and that kind of thing. And that was important. It turns out all that data isn't super relevant except in an emergency. The other thing is, though, at the Fed, we've always, for some time now, we've been, trying to work with these very large data sets that are available in real time now, for example, from credit card companies and things like that. And, trying to use these new and vast data collections in a real time way, is something that's really helpful.
Okay, I was going to ask you about whether or not there's some favorite private sector statistics that you think everybody should be looking at, but it sounds like you've just given us a hint on that. Let me ask a couple longer term.
All right, so this does look like the actual summit has finally kicked off here. Great news. Now I'm just going to make sure that as soon as we've got sound from there and that you guys are able to hear, and if you guys are, please just give me a indication in the comments down there. In terms of confirmed attendees, we've got Chris Dixon, general partner at Andreessen Horowitz. I believe they're a VC. We've got Fred Thiel, the CEO of Mara. I believe they deal with Bitcoin miners. We've also got Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Let's see, who else do we've got? We've got the Winklevoss twins, who are the founders of Gemini, who still yet to list ADA. Let's see who else we got. We've got Michael Saylor, of course, one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls and the founder and chairman of MicroStrategy. We've got Brian Armstrong in attendance, the CEO of Coinbase. We've got Sergey Nazarov, who's the founder of Chainlink. And looks like we've finally got audio. Hopefully you guys are able to hear that. Are you guys able to hear that audio? Okay, let me double check here. Interesting. So no one is speaking just yet, but I can definitely hear some murmuring in the back. So let me try to get this fixed real quick. No one's speaking just yet, so we aren't missing anything. Hey, folks, I'm working on the audio now. Give me just a moment. Okay, hopefully you guys are able to hear the audio now. Perfect, thank you. I love this comment here. Looks like the Last Supper. So Hopper, I agree with you here, right? With this many voices or this many cooks in the kitchen, I don't think that the goal is to get anything sort of done today, but to at least get the ball rolling and to show that the administration is willing to work on changing the image that the US represents when it comes to crypto. And I think this is why Charles wasn't too frustrated about not being able to make the event, right? Was because of the fact that he knew and he understood there's going to be so many voices trying to take up, a piece of the mic or a piece of the airtime here, that's going to be really, really hard to make any sort of meaningful impact. In addition, for anybody who missed it, there will be a secondary event. Now, they didn't confirm if it's going to be at the same exact time that this one takes place, if it's right after, but they did mention that there'll be another event across from the White House with a little bit more in terms of guests. This is just, I believe, 25 attendees, but there should be a follow-up event with 75 attendees or guests who will be present to also weigh in on crypto topics. All right, let's get into it.
He said he heard that.
I have,
He said he heard that.
I have that, so,
Oh, you do?
yeah, there's nothing coming out of the net.
Nothing?
Yeah,
Okay.
the net's completely mute.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Great honor to have you. I know you've all been working very hard and very successfully. And it's a wonderful place, the White House. I want to begin, is Johnny here from World Cup? I want to thank you for the selection. And they just had a presentation in the Oval Office, and I thought this was such a beautiful, this is the trophy. This is the big deal. The World Cup is the biggest sporting event. And Johnny Infantino is my friend for a long time. And during my first term, we worked out a deal to get the World Cup. And then because of lots of interesting things that happened, I ended up being president when it showed up. I was always disappointed. I wasn't going to make it. I was going to serve 8 straight. Instead, we did it the hard way, but maybe the more important way. So I will be with you as president, Johnny. So maybe you could just say a few words and show how beautiful the World Cup trophy is. Thank you. Yeah, sure, please. Yeah, that's a great key. Well, you go ahead. I trust you.
So this is the new trophy of a new competition. It's called the FIFA World Cup. The 32 best clubs in the world with the absolutely best players in the world. And for the first time in history, this competition takes place in the United States. Opening game on the 14th of June,
Right.
obviously in Miami. Final on the 30th of July this year in New York, New Jersey. But it's not that. The trophy is special because it's a key, and because, as you can see, if I manage to do that. Yes. It's a bit tricky. It's like that. So this is a trophy. It is a trophy which represents, and that's why I think it's interesting to show this trophy exactly in this form, because it represents the past, but it's also projected to the future. There is no other sports trophy which looks like that. It has engraved the history of the game, of soccer or football as we call it, the participating teams of the first edition, the stadiums, the beautiful stadiums in 11 cities in the United States of America where this competition will take place. So at the same time, past, present, and projected to the future. And if I may, President, say another 2 words, and then I let you work. I would like to congratulate the President and the administration for not only for the World Cup, the Club World Cup, the World Cup, and the great work done, but also for this initiative that you are speaking about here. If I may add something in this respect, I'm not an expert at all, but FIFA, as you know, is a brand which is globally known, a very strong brand. The soccer economy in the world is worth around 270 billion a year. 70% of that, Mr. President, is in Europe. So imagine the potential that there is around the world only in soccer if we develop it. And so FIFA is very, very interested under my presidency to develop the FIFA coin, to do it from here, from America, and to conquer the 5 billion soccer fans in the world. So if there is anyone here who is interested to team up with FIFA, here we are together with the United States of America, and we will conquer the world of soccer with the FIFA coin. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That coin, that coin may be worth more than FIFA in the end. It could be quite a coin, actually. Huh? Anyway, thank you, Johnny. Great job. I just thought you should see this trophy because it's really, it's the biggest sporting event in the world, and we have it here. And we appreciate being selected. Thank you very much, Johnny. You do a fantastic job. And welcome to the first ever White House Digital Assets Summit. I know that many of you have been fighting for years for this, and it's an honor to be with you at the White House. I want to thank the White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs, Treasury Secretary. This is David right here, in case you don't know. You know David. And a man who's doing a great job as Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, who's right here. Scott, thank you very much. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, wherever you may be, Howard. Hi, Howard. He's doing some interesting work right now with all that's going on. He's right in the middle of it and doing a great job. Thank you. SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler. And thank you. SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce. Thank you, Hester. Acting CFTC Chairman Caroline Pham. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer. Hello, hello, Tom. Representative Brian Stile. Thank you. Brian, thank you very much. Digital Assets Council Director Bo Hines. Good, Bo. Great job. And many other distinguished guests. We have a lot of very distinguished people around the table. Some of them will be speaking. I want to thank Marco Rubio also, who's right over there. And we have tremendous people very interested in this subject. And last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet. And we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday, I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve. And this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing, Scott. The federal government is already among the largest holders of Bitcoin, as you know. Really one of the largest holders in the world, with as many as 200,000 Bitcoin obtained via civil law and various other forms of law, and including enforcement actions. These existing holdings will form the foundation of the new reserve. Unfortunately, in recent years, the U.S. government has foolishly sold tens of thousands of additional Bitcoin that were worth billions and billions of dollars had they not sold them, but they did sell them, mostly during the Biden administration. Not a good thing to have done. From this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well: never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? But so far, it's been right. And well, let's keep it that way. The Treasury and Commerce departments will also explore new pathways to accumulate additional Bitcoin holdings for the reserve, provided it's done at no cost to the taxpayers. We don't want any cost to the taxpayers. In addition, my order directs federal agencies to conduct an inventory of all crypto assets currently held by the U.S. government and determine how they can be transferred easily to the Treasury. Non-Bitcoin digital assets will be held in a new U.S. digital asset stockpile where they will be managed properly. My administration also is working to end the federal bureaucracy's war on crypto, which was really going on pretty wildly during Biden until the election came about. About 5 months before the election, he became a big fan because he heard how many people were in favor of it and how many people love it and respect it. But I guess it didn't work out too well for him. People understood what was going on and paved the way for groundbreaking innovations in institutional finance. Under the Bitcoin administration, regulators strong-armed banks. I mean, they really did. They strong-armed banks into closing the accounts of crypto businesses and entrepreneurs, effectively blocking some money transfers to and from exchanges, and they weaponized government against the entire industry. But I know that feeling also. Maybe better than you do. All of that will soon be over, and we are ending Operation Choke Point 2.0. Now, some people really suffered. It was ridiculous what they were doing. But in the end, they came around, but they came around for the wrong reasons. They came around only because they wanted votes, and they saw that tens of millions of people were against them because of what they were doing. I also want to express my strong support for the efforts of lawmakers in Congress as they work on bills to provide regulatory certainty for dollar-backed stablecoins and the digital assets market. They're working very hard on that. This is a tremendous opportunity for economic growth and innovation in our financial sector, and will really go a long way. I think it's going to be a tremendous, we feel like pioneers in a way, of tremendous method of growth. And things are very much tied, and we want to keep it that way, the U.S. dollar, long into the future. We're going to keep it that way. I hope lawmakers will send that legislation to my desk before August recess if they can. And they're very much working with you, and you know a lot of them, and a lot of them were committed right from the very beginning. So I just want to congratulate you all for being at the White House today, and a man who knows more about Bitcoin and AI and just about everything else than anybody, David Saxton. I'd like to have you say a few words, David.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're all here today because of your leadership, your vision, and your generosity, and I really want to thank you for that. We're also here because of your desire to make America great and to introduce a golden age in America, including for digital assets. And we're here because of your love of innovators, or as you might say, high IQ people. Yeah, we know you love high IQ people. And we have about 30 of them here in the room today. These are the top people in the digital asset industry. And one other thing that I think that you love is legal fairness. This is an industry that was subjected to prosecution and persecution for the last 4 years, horrible lawfare, and nobody knows what that feels like better than you do. So we really appreciate the fact that you understand legal fairness and that you're always willing to fight for the right thing, for legal fairness. You never back down. You stand defiant, even in the face of an assassin's bullet. It's an inspiration to everyone in this room, I think. So it's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I just want to say it's an honor to work for you. It's an honor to work for a president who works every day to get so much done on behalf of the American people. Your administration is moving at tech speed. It's really amazing. It's actually faster than any startup that I've been part of. Is that your administration moves even faster. So I just want to say thank you for having me be a part of it. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I love working for you, and thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, David, very much. Appreciate it.
And now I just want to pass the ball to Secretary Besson.
Scott?
David, so today, when President Trump has signed the executive order to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve and stockpile, we're going to position the United States as a leader among nations in the digital asset strategy. It's important for the United States to recognize this fact and get ahead of the other nations in the digital age. We applaud the president's direction to use the digital assets already in possession of the nation, and we are going to establish this Bitcoin reserve. We will use this authority to augment the asset side of the United States balance sheet. As I've said many times, President Trump is creating assets for the American people, while most past presidents have created debt. And a large part of this asset program can be in digital assets. We are going to end the regulatory weaponization against digital assets. The Biden administration's actions did nothing other than punish innovators. And that all of you have made it here today is really a testament to your fortitude. Much of Treasury's responsibility in this order relates to the tax code and determinations around risk weightings. And I'm here to assure you that we are going to work with the controller of the currency, the IRS, and we're going to rescind and amend all applicable previous guidance. And we are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime. And as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that. Thank you.
Technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency. He understands technology, he embraces technology, and he's going to use technology to drive America forward. The blockchain and Bitcoin technology are a key part of that thinking, and embracing that, and here today shows how much a leader the Trump administration and our president is. He understands it, he embraces it. As you said, you're a pioneer in this place, and this is where we're going. We're using the blockchain, we're using Bitcoin, we're going to use digital assets to pound forward, and Donald Trump is leading the way. Can't be more proud of you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Howard. Kelly, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is truly a historic day, and as a crypto founder, I couldn't be more proud to be part of your administration. You're moving at the speed of tech for sure, and I will just say it's a great day to have the war on not just crypto, but the war on innovation done. And under your administration, we are truly going to enter into the golden age. And I'll just say, as the administrator of the SBA, small business is a tremendous network that crypto can be deployed against. And so the SBA is open to crypto. So I look forward to working with all of the leaders in this room to advance your efforts here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Tom, please.
Well, Mr. President, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for the amazing team that you put together. I want to thank you for David. I mean, this kind of a meeting, no one in this room could have envisioned this just a couple years ago. You are the one that has the vision. You're the one that said, we are going to do 21st century finance right here in the United States of America. I've been doing this for 9 years. It is amazing how far we've come, and that's a credit to you, Mr. President, and your leadership. And God bless you for doing this, because it's going to make a huge difference with everything else you're doing. And by the way, Americans love it. They're going crazy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Everybody else? Go ahead, please.
Does anyone want to say a couple of words? Cameron or Tyler, do you want to?
You're very shy in front of the
Actually,
camera.
Cameron, I think you said something earlier that I thought was really profound. You said that a year ago, you thought it would be more likely that you'd end up in jail at the White House. You, not to put you on the spot, because you didn't do anything wrong, but that was the environment a year ago. But do you guys want to say something, either one of you?
Sure. That was actually Tyler who said that. but it's
Sorry, I still get mixed up.
But yeah, we never thought that we'd get attacked the way we did in our backyard after trying to do the right thing for so many years and always trying to raise the bar with respect to regulations. So it's truly wonderful to see how things have changed and how the pendulum has swung back in the way that it has. And we've always felt that the U.S. should lead in Bitcoin and crypto, and it's ours to sort of lead and win. And it's just wonderful what President Trump has been doing with this, and we look forward to working together. And thanks for inviting us, David, and setting this up.
Thank you. Thank you both. Please.
I was just going to say, thank you, Mr. President. Cameron takes credit for a lot of my things I say, so it's not the first time. But the U.S. won the internet, and the U.S. should win crypto. So thank you for your leadership on this.
Thank you both very much. High IQ individuals around this table. That's what I always say. We need high IQ. So thank you very much. Would anybody like to say anything? Please.
I just want to express my deep gratitude for the seriousness with which you're approaching our industry and how you're actually helping guide it in the right direction. I've worked with many central banks in other countries, and when I was working there, I was wondering why I, as an American citizen, can't help the United States financial system reach this higher level that the world is on course towards generally.
Right.
And so I'm very grateful that finally there's been a new level of kind of common sense and adoption of these ideas. Me and the other people in this room do believe that the crypto, blockchain, Web3 infrastructure is the next iteration of the financial system. And I think that the U.S. should have its leadership position continue in that new financial system. And I'm very, very happy to see people like David Sachs, Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick taking this very seriously with their time, and very grateful to them too. So I'm just overjoyed to see this. And I think it is a big part of how the U.S. can continue its role in the global financial system. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I thought it was very important that we stay in the front of this one. This is a big one. And as you know, China is pushing forward and very strongly as usual, but we're way in the lead as we are in AI and other things, and we want to stay there. So I thought this was very important, and we have some brilliant people sitting around this table, and it's an honor to have you involved, but we want to stay at the forefront of everything. And this is a very important day in your lives. I know you worked, some of you, very long before people really understood what was happening. And so I congratulate you, but this is a big day. Being in the White House is a big deal, and you have great support. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, media. Thank you. Please.
Uh-oh. Looks like we might have just got wrecked from the stream. Let me double check my other sources and see what's going on there. Give me just a second, folks. I do apologize for that. Oh, wow. That's the stream, folks. That is the stream, folks. I'm taking a look here across the board. Wow. I thought we were just literally getting started. Um, yeah, let me know what you guys think. I was reading the comments throughout the stream there, and I could not post half of them because they were all saying the same thing. But I think everybody sort of understands and sort of read the room. It just seemed like a lot of praise towards the president. Not saying that he hasn't done anything in this space. He's obviously, I think, done a lot, especially with the most recent executive order, freeing Ross Ulbricht, signing the executive order back in January. But the guy was speaking out about crypto back in 2016. His views have clearly changed. And of course, a lot of time has gone by since then. But I just didn't expect that. It just seemed like it was just praise for him. And that was really it. I am extremely surprised. I'm looking through the comments and I'm literally lost. I thought that like we just lost the stream, but no, that was it. That was it. So let me know what you guys think there. That was what, 15 minutes, if that? And they started 45 minutes late. And now the entire market is dumping. Hold on, we got to take a look at this, guys. The entire market is dumping. So we've got Bitcoin now starting to dump. Cardano's dumping hard. Pepe losing its gains. Yeah, I saw a comment earlier about buy the rumor and sell the news. I mean, looks like people are definitely selling now. Yeah, I'm just completely flabbergasted as to what just happened. I mean, that was extremely quick, extremely short, and extremely vague. Not a lot of new information. So he basically, and I was taking notes as he was going through, and as I thought they were just about to begin, the entire stream just ended. So he mentioned the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Executive Order, which he just signed yesterday. We took a look at that earlier. We can jump back into that. I'm more than happy to take a look at that here in just a moment. He talked about positioning the USA as a leader when it comes to digital assets. He talked about using seized BTC, right, which will then be converted or which will then be going into that crypto reserve. And then they mentioned an additional stockpile for altcoins outside of Bitcoin. Now, they haven't given us any particular assets there, but of course, keep in mind that that tweet did come out 2 days ago. We mentioned XRP, Sol, Bitcoin, ETH, and of course, ADA. He talked about ending Operation Choke Point 2.0, which, for anybody who isn't aware, basically just a lot of rules and regulations that was put in by the Biden administration to stifle the growth rate for crypto-based companies in the US. And so they mentioned rescinding and basically undoing any legislation and regulations around Operation Choke Point 2.0. And then they talked about the focus on regulations first for stable coins, and then talking about regulations for markets and crypto assets, or MiCA, the regulatory framework coming out of the European area. So those are some of the key takeaways that I had there. I don't see anything else. I mean, I can share this on a separate tab here. This is from NBC. And so, I mean, it says at the very bottom there, thanks for tuning in. Looks to me as if the stream is over. Is it still on? I mean, I can go back, but I don't see anything live here on my end. Let me jump back over there. I don't believe it's on. Based off of what I see here, looks like the stream has ended. Yeah, so I can share this other platform here as well. And this is also off as well. So unless I'm the only person that's missed the memo, I don't see anything. I'm still taking a look around here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to just briefly pull up the charts. Give me just a moment, folks. But yeah, the market is dumping. Let me just share this real quick. And I'm just going to make a quick update to my camera. Let me just knock that out. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section there. Did that meet your expectations? Were you expecting more? And maybe we can speculate a little bit. What do we think they're going to be talking about now that the camera is actually turned off? I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are down below. Let me make this brief update. Buy the dip. Obviously not financial advice. Be careful. See if I can get this camera back on here. Give me just a second, folks. Yeah, I thought at least we'd hear from Michael Saylor, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Kraken. I think CZ was invited, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if he's out there. But that is interesting. Extremely quick, extremely short. Give me just a moment, folks. There we go. Let me just make sure that this is the right camera. I believe that is. So yeah, that's going to do it there for the actual stream itself. For anybody who tuned in late, it was roughly 10 to 15 minutes. And I'll leave the link to what CNBC posted. David, I appreciate you too, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. Means a lot. Before I guess we close things down, because that was not what I expected at all. We do have an article that I want to just briefly share here. And this is from Cointelegraph, where it states that the Trump administration plans to roll back Joe Biden's anti-crypto stance, and they want to treat Bitcoin as the digital Fort Knox for gold. It's funny because Trump actually said that literally word for word during his brief address. Now, there's one piece here that I also want to highlight, which I did see some comments in the live stream about, which was speculation that they were going to be mentioning just something around taxes and crypto. But it states here that there's not going to be anything mentioned about taxes. And then instead, what they're going to be focusing on is providing the ability for industry leaders to provide feedback on regulations, which is consistent with the president's promise to end Operation Choke Point 2.0. Again, the previous administration's reported initiative to debank cryptocurrency companies. We already talked about the executive order in which they mentioned special treatment for Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And I think that was really it. Of course, there was the FIFA shill at the very beginning. But yeah, I'm just extremely surprised at how quick that was and how little information we actually got. So I'm a little bummed out because I feel like with the amount of visibility that was on this event, they could have used it as an opportunity to do something a little bit better, especially after starting 40 minutes late. So I think that's really it there, folks. Mehmet, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Be careful trading out there. If anybody maybe has any questions or last topics you guys want to jump into, I'm more than happy to do so, but I'm probably going to wind things down here. Zero Dicks. Yeah, I mean, that's the end of the stream. Now, keep in mind, the actual meeting itself is 4.5 hours long, but it looks like the majority of it will not be publicly disclosed. One other thing I'm going to be doing is just keeping an eye on X to see if there's any posts coming out from some of the key figures that are there. But yeah, that was it. That was it. Gary Holland. What a joke. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people are thinking at this point. Interesting. We got Huey. Do you guys think Charles was right? What if Charles would have maybe taken off of his trip from Japan in order to attend this instead? Yeah, I mean, Charles did mention he is always available, right? He doesn't have to be there in person. His phone is available. And if they need his input, he's willing to go ahead and actually chime in there. I'm just surprised at how quick that was. Jad stating they're still live. Where at? Because I'm not seeing anything, Jad. And I'm looking at 2 live links. They've both ended. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's it. Bitcoin is doing its thing. ETH is down. ADA is down. Veritas, disappointing. You're not the only person, man. Miller, there has been some news around a potential listing, right, of ADA from Gemini, but we'll see. The Winklevoss, I can never say their names. The Winklevoss twins there in attendance. Yeah, Shy. I think a lot of people are agreeing. And hindsight is 2020, right? I don't think that anybody expected it for it to be that short and that lackluster. Again, nothing new was announced. Nothing that we didn't already know. So again, interested to see if they're even going to share the minutes from the actual meeting, if they're going to be able to publicly disclose what's actually going on now that the cameras are turned off. Yeah, Dina, a lot of bootlicking going on there. That was really interesting. A lot of people just thanking Donald Trump for all that he's done, even though, I mean, he clearly understands that, yes, right now the attention is on crypto, and he's taken advantage of that, not only with his own Trump meme coin, but just some of his most recent actions here as of late. So he's obviously done the space some good, but does he actually believe in crypto? Is he just here for the pump? I guess only time will tell. I've got a super chat here. I appreciate you very much. Kariniatis. Hopefully that's the right way to pronounce that. Yeah, I'm always happy if Josh from Late Game wants to come on, or if Crypto Moose wants to jump on. I am happy to host. I'm happy to host. Always welcome. Yeah, I think that's going to be it, folks. I don't want to drag this out any further. Again, I'll probably have some dedicated content coming out later this evening. But for anybody who's new here, my goal is to help you find your footing here within the Cardano and Bitcoin ecosystems. Again, just wrapped up the live stream there with President Donald Trump addressing the United States at the first ever Trump or the first ever White House Crypto Summit, where they're going to be discussing regulations, legislation, exactly how we can make the U.S. a powerhouse when it comes to the digital asset and blockchain and cryptocurrency space. I think that will do it here. Again, as more of these events come out, I will aim to live stream. So definitely make sure to turn on those bell notifications if you found this to be insightful. If you learned anything along the way, I would appreciate if you guys could smash that thumbs up. I'm going to get ready to hit the gym here. Again, if you're new, welcome in, but I'll have some content coming out later tonight, if not this weekend. Having said that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, depending on where you're watching from, and wish you all a wonderful weekend. All right, folks, take care. D-Not, I appreciate that super sticker on the way out. Everybody, I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers.